Welcome to Creepy Joe's Horror Show! With special guest, Slip Rick the Skeleton.
It's not my fault the babes like me, man.
Also, Flo!
Perverts.
And don't forget about your legendary loser host himself, Creepy Joe!
Welcome to Creepy Joe's Horror Show. Tonight we have Sleepaway Camp from 1983.
Sleepaway Camp is about a young girl who slaughters a bunch of kids at a sleepaway camp. And she also is hiding a secret.
Sleepaway Camp from 1983. This is a pretty known horror movie. I really wanted to hold off to do this one. I almost didn't do it at all because so many people have covered it and reviewed it, and you know.
Those cocksuckers keep picking on my cousin. That's
enough. Let's just get it out of the way. The chick with the dick, okay? There's a lot going on in this movie, but everybody knows why they watched it.
God, she's a boy.
You know, in this day and age, no one would get away with making this movie. Let's just get that out of the way because A, it's a teenager, which is inappropriate enough, but B, it's a transgender teenage. Well, it's not even transgender. We'll get into that later, but we'll just save that for later. But it's directed by Robert Hiltzik and starring Felicia Rose as Angela, Jonathan Tiersten, I think that's how you pronounce it, is Ricky, who's Angela's cousin. And we have Karen Fields as Judy, and Mike Kellen is Mel. I think he runs the camp. And Desiree Gold, Aunt Martha, who's a total freak of nature.
Tied a string around my thing.
We'll get into that as well. Okay, I guess we could start with the beginning of the movie. It shows some siblings out on the lake. And their dad gets murdered by a speedboat. And that's how it starts. And then it shows the same two kids, you think, or whatever, you know, getting ready to go to camp for the summer. And their mom/aunt, Aunt Martha, is a complete and total nutcase.
I believe there's a whole bag.
She's like, so does everybody have their paperwork? And
Here they are, all filled out and signed by yours truly. Wasn't that nice?
And she's just extremely bizarre and weird. If that was my aunt, I would have ran away a long time ago because there's no way those kids would have acted. Well, I mean, I guess Angela isn't normal at all, but there's no way anyone could grow up normal living in that household. So they go to the camp, and you know, it's your typical 80s camp. You know, at the time, there's a lot of, you know, Friday the 13th, all these movies that had camps, you know, summer camps and everything. They all kind of look the same. They all try to, you know, it's pretty accurate to the times. And Angela's really weird. Like, she doesn't talk at all, like hardly. And everybody's mean to her. And I don't mean just like mean, like they go out of their way. It's like really almost annoying. Like Judy is, you know, I guess she used to bang Ricky at, you know, previous years of the camp.
Don't you know girls mature before boys?
That's bullshit and you know it.
And now she's just like a total bitch and treats everyone like shit. And she is so jealous of Angela that it's almost like annoying. Like every other scene, she's like, "So does Angela want to get in the water today? I don't think she does." And that just pretty much goes on like the whole movie. Like,
She takes showers when no one can see. She has no hair down below. Judy!
you're praying for her to just get fucking whacked out because it's annoying. It's like, you know, like this girl just won't shut up and won't leave her alone. And then it's bad enough that the girls treat Angela bad, but the guys also do. Like everybody's like super cruel to her. And Ricky, her cousin, is always standing up for her. And then he actually gets in trouble. There's even a point where Mel, the guy who runs the place, is like won't let him defend her and lets the girls torture her and throw her in the water.
Stunnings! In a rec room at the water fight, you killed them!
She's afraid of water because at the beginning, you know, her dad got killed in the water and whatnot. So, you know, she has like a phobia and everybody is just horrible to her. But people are getting murdered left and right, and it's like, you think like a grown-ass man is doing it because you don't think that, you don't assume that Angela's the murderer. So everybody thinks like, people think it's Ricky. You don't really know who it is. And there's a bunch of like, I don't know what you'd call them, like chaperones or like camp, you know, they have like older kids running the place. And you think it could be one of them.
I'm gonna take her inside to see Audie. She'll be alright, probably a little homesick is all.
There's a really creepy cook. This is another part of this movie that like would not fly today. There's a total creepy cook that keeps making, you know, sick ass, you know, comments about kids. I think the one scene he's like, "Yeah, we call these guys baldies because they're too young to grow hair."
Look at all that young, fresh chicken. Where I come from, we call them baldies.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And then, okay, so it gets even fucking worse than that. And like, he tries to actually molest Angela in the walk-in freezer.
I think I got something you're gonna like real good.
And Ricky saves the day and somehow walks in at the last minute, thank God. But she ends up getting his ass and, you know, dumping a huge pot of boiling soup or whatever on him. And yeah, he I think dies. But anyway, yeah, so there's like some sickos, and then like the other workers there are like all about the child molestation as well. Like the other guy, he doesn't do anything about it, and he like kind of just is like, no, that's the way he is. It's like,
Buddy, there ain't no such thing as being too young. You're just too old.
And Mel even tries to cover it up, the owner. So there's a bunch of sleazy bastards running the place, and you know, these poor kids, well, I wouldn't say poor all of them, but Angela for sure. You feel bad for her because she's tortured. And then she does kind of meet like a boy for a while, but like that other bitch, Judy, tries to like cheat on him. Like she wants them to catch them kissing in the woods.
Angela!
She's just been shit on the whole movie. So anyway, I guess the elephant in the room here, she has a dick, okay? And why I say that's so inappropriate is this is 1983, guys. Like, this stuff was unheard of. A, you didn't even show dicks in movies, okay? Unless they were like X-rated or a porno. And B, they show it on a teenage girl who's not of age. That shit would not fly. Just like The Exorcist when Reagan is shoving a crucifix in her vagina. That shit doesn't fly these days, man. We could never make a movie about a little girl flashing her dick on screen. Like, that's like pedophile city. Like, and there's pedophiles in the movie, so maybe the director, you know, I'm not gonna point anything out here, but like, you know, maybe you have some dark thoughts, dude. But that's what made this movie what it was. You know, the iconic creepy look and the wiener at the end. You know, no one was expecting that. And then they go through the whole story and they recap how the sick, weird Aunt Martha brought her up to be a little girl. And really, he was a boy.
Yes, I've always dreamed of a little girl just like you.
But in real life, it's a girl, Felicia Rose, and she's really pretty in real life. She's clearly a girl, but, you know, at the end when they find out who's been murdering everybody, on the beach of the lake. She has a wiener and it is in full force. And that's the movie, man. I mean, obviously that's going to be the most memorable part, but that's not where I'm going with this. The kills were really good in this. Okay, it did bring back like a Friday the 13th vibe. There's some good kills. And I mean, the movie really isn't very fast paced, but there is always something going on. Most of it is just her being tortured. And then like there's brief killings in between, and you know, the one dude dies from a bee's nest, the other dude gets drowned. I mean, there's a lot of kills. I'll try to show a couple here, but yeah, this movie's iconic, and that is why. It has nothing to do with the quality of film. It's because there's a chick with a dick in the movie, and everybody knows that that's why it got the notoriety that it did. And that's okay, because it is a good movie. Aside from, you know, the wiener in the room, it really could have been a good movie all on its own, but that just, you know, really took it over the top. People weren't expecting that. But yeah, the kills were good. The storyline was good. I mean, it did have a creative storyline with, you know, him being raised as a girl and everything against his will. You know, he didn't really want to be. And, you know, these days, you're not even allowed to call boys boys and girls girls, or else you'll get in trouble. We're not going to get into that. Everybody's just like an it now. We're all robots. We're all aliens. And whatever, that's kind of cool too, I guess. But, you know, to each their own. But back then, she didn't choose. She didn't get a choice by the doctor, like, do you want to be a boy or a girl like we do these days? She was just a boy, and she was forced to be a girl. Does that make any sense? Anyway, I'm going to give this a solid 4 out of 5. It's iconic, good storyline, great kills, and the crazy surprise at the end. Not that anyone wants to see it, but it made film history, and it jump-started, what, 4 other sequels or 5? There's so many sequels to this movie that, you know, you don't get there by just having a boring, slow movie. You know what I mean? Like, obviously it did something, but all these movies, this movie included, every movie that I'm doing, this is night 20. It's 20 nights in a row, man, of me doing these reviews, and it's a lot. I'm not going to keep saying that every night, but I do have to say every night that all these movies are free on Tubi. As long as you have internet access, download the Tubi app, and you can watch every single one of these movies that I review, and most of the ones outside of the month of October. They're all free, because I refuse to pay for movies unless, like, it's really, like, if they came out with an Evil Dead, like a new Evil Dead, I would rent it. But, like, aside from that, man, there's so many great, and as you know, I'm into the 80s, so anything that I want to see from the 80s that's worth watching, it's usually free, or you pay $1.99 on Prime or whatever. But this month, everything is 100% free on Tubi. I want everybody that watches these reviews, you can literally go watch the movie right after you see this, and it's free. That's the whole idea. It's an experiment that I'm doing for the month. It's causing me to watch movies that I haven't seen yet. This is the exclusion, and, you know, some of the other ones I've already seen a million times, but I do have to cover these. Like this is an iconic film, and if I don't cover it, you know, people would probably be like, dude, Sleepaway Camp's on there and you didn't even cover that. There's some goodies on there that you're not covering. So I'm just trying to throw some of these in there, and it's definitely up there with, you know, when you hear of the 80s, you know, 80s horror, Sleepaway Camp's in there, man. Like there's no denying it. It made a huge impact. So go check it out. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I know that, you know, trust me, guys, we're going to make it. I only have 11 more days after this, and then it's Halloween. So on the 11th day. So let's get through this. Check all these movies out, man. They're all worth a watch. I would not steer you wrong. If they sucked ass, I'm going to tell you that they suck ass, man. I'm not getting paid for this. So if these movies are horrible, I'm going to tell you they're horrible. This is a good one. Check it out. Stay creepy.
You fucking bastards are gonna pay for this! Cocksuckers! Pricks!